fellas, we can be that mistake. Let's do this. What's up, y'all?
What's going on, guys?
We're Embrace the S1E11.
Yes, we are.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Daniel.
We're back at it with the Ricky Gervais show.
Yes.
This is Series 1, Episode 11.
Beetles.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Again, like we've said throughout, this is like a series that you don't have to keep up with the whole thing. You just come in and out of it whenever.
Yep.
So let's do it.
Just dive in, yep.
We do, of course, Rick, every week get thousands of emails. I mean, Freddie from Winchester says, of course, it was recently Valentine's Day. What's the most romantic thing that you've done for Suzanne, Carl, that you can think of?
I don't really do all that.
Sure. The Valentine's Day stuff.
It's just, the problem is, if you do it once, they expect it. And with Christmas and stuff in it, it's like, it's become, that's what you do now, every year.
Every day, yeah.
So I prefer to just sort of wait, you know what I mean? And you know, if I think of an idea or I know of something that she wants, I might get her something, but I might not do it on Valentine's Day. It's that thing, it's like how I've said about Pancake Tuesday. Make it Pancake Wednesday. Have it when you want. Why am I waiting? Why am I waiting for someone to tell me when I can have a pancake? I'll have it today if I want one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas Pancake Tuesday, no, I won't bother. I'll have trifle. So it's the same with this, you know, with Suzanne. Luckily, right? I mean, Valentine's Day and what have you, she was ill.
Luckily.
So we didn't have to go out. So I'd say, is he asking for advice?
Well, I suppose, yeah, certainly you may as well give it.
Treat them when they deserve it.
Oh, that's a slippery slope to go down with any.
Pretty sure that's not on a Hallmark card.
Nope, definitely not.
But I get the gist of what he's saying.
Yeah,
I agree
yeah.
with that.
It's
Like,
why do you have to have one day?
yeah, it should be every day. But you still got to go through the motions of the day, but maybe not go so big.
Yeah.
You know, like for us, I like, there's no way in hell you're going to get us out on a restaurant on those special days.
Right.
We'll do it the weekend after, weekend before.
Yeah.
Like, make it.
Only if it happens to be that weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's if we can make a low-key Valentine's Day work, we're doing that. That's just how Holly and I both operate.
Yeah. And it's Tracy and I at the same time. Like, you know, getting a heart-shaped box of Chick-fil-A nuggets and some cookies and some flowers does it. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, you know that that's just one part. You definitely do it big later.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's no way. It's not, to me, it's not even enjoyable.
Right.
Like, to go out on Valentine's Day, like,
yeah, no.
with everyone else.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
No.
Yeah, like, we went to the Guinness factory the weekend after Valentine's and enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
And
rather than trying to muscle your way to get a table.
Yeah.
Overcrowded. Just, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Step off our high horse here.
Yep.
There we go.
Once when Suzanne was ill, she had a fever, but there was no food in the house. What did you suggest to her? She was too ill.
Well, it was when we were still living in Manchester and that, and you know, we needed to get some food in for tea and stuff. And I said, come to the supermarket. She was like, no, I'm ill, you go. And I hate buying food. I just sort of get a bit blank when I'm looking at it. There's too much, isn't there? That's the problem. You go down all these aisles and there's just too much. So anyway, I said, no, come with me. She was like, oh, but I've got this fever, I'm hot and everything. So I said, well, come to the supermarket. You go on the frozen aisle, cool yourself down. She did. And she said, you know, it made it worse. She was ill for another 3 days.
Oh,
shit.
Man. That is like the thing you do not say to do.
She probably went along with it because she was like, I am going to want to eat at some point.
Right.
And if I trust this guy to go get food, we're all starving.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if it overwhelms you, you know, I can empathize as a man that sometimes I get overwhelmed with the supermarket, but I'm also culinarily inclined. I cook a lot. Like, if you don't cook, if you don't do that, I can understand how it would be overwhelming for you.
It's for us, for how we do it, man, is like we'll buy so much stuff, but then we sit back and we're like, what did we get?
Yeah.
And I hate that feeling. It's just like, because you can easily drop serious money.
Yeah.
You can quickly drop a lot of money, and you're like, but what meals do we have?
Right.
You know, it blows my mind because sometimes I'll go with a list, you know, but then I'll do the cardinal sin of going grocery shopping hungry.
Oh, you don't
do that. No, ever do that. Everything looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you get back home, you're like, what'd I get?
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah. I'll tell you what's the worst feeling. When you're hungry, you're at home, you look at the refrigerator, and all that is there is ingredients.
Oh.
And you just want something right then and there. Yeah.
You need a balance.
Yeah. Like, I've even kind of gotten that way with, because Tracy and I, we get Home Chef, a meal kit thing. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, but hit us up.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just get aggravated because I have to put these simple things together, and I just want it right then and there.
Just like, I just want a meal. Just a quick meal. Or even a snack.
Yeah.
You can't snack because you got all the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, ugh.
Some assembly required.
Here we go. Mm-hmm. You can't just throw them all in your mouth and eat them and make it taste the same.
No,
Doesn't
you
work.
can't do that, unfortunately.
How would you go about chatting up a woman in a bar? What tips could you give?
I've never worked like that. It's always been like a friend of a friend and all that, and just happened to meet them, and then you have a chat, and then.
How did you meet Suzanne?
That was when I was working with her, and she gave me 20p for the hot chocolate machine. She never asked for it back. Thought she's all right. Been there sort of 11 years, so it works.
Has she ever given you that? You've never given that 20p
Never
back?
asked for it back.
Did you return the favour, perhaps on the next date? You buy her a Kit Kat or something?
No, I don't think I did. I think word got out that she liked me and that. And what did I do? I think I did some work for her. I did some editing for her, sort of show off my skills and that.
Sure.
And she was like, "Oh, you're good at this, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." And I think she got us another drink because I was doing that editing for her.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh my God, that makes sense.
Deal, aren't you?
Oh my God, that makes sense. It just clicked. What? Editing.
Yeah.
Like production.
Uh-huh.
Where it's not interaction, it's just numbers and timestamps and like.
Yeah.
I get that for him.
Uh-huh. That's his strength.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and both Gervais and Merchant are more creative types.
Yeah.
They send Carl the material to edit. Yeah.
Wow. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what does he do? At one point, I thought he was like a teacher. And I'm like, nah.
Yeah, he's a producer.
He's
an editor.
But is he still an editor?
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
He's done very well for himself, obviously.
Yeah, he's begrudgingly transitioned into host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know now, I know for a fact that you've not spent any money on her in 11 years, so you're 40p up.
At least. Lawrence from New York says, I was wondering how Mr. K. Dilkington would interpret this famous saying of philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein. The quote is, if a lion could talk, we could not understand him.
Even if he's English.
Yeah, if a lion could speak English, so there's no language barrier, he's speaking English words and using all the correct grammar and everything, but you wouldn't be able to understand what he was saying.
Why?
Because it is from a different world. His frames of reference would be so bizarre that you wouldn't be able to get a grasp on what he was talking about, because you'd have so little in common, even if he used real words.
No, but he's talking English.
Yeah, no, but his reference points would be just so far removed. You know, they're removed slightly when if you saw two people talking about Kierkegaard, you'd
I
hear...
wouldn't understand it.
Exactly. So remove that 1 billion times to a different species with different input.
No, but it depends. If I'm talking to a lion in London Zoo,
Yeah.
he'll be saying, "Oh, I'm fed up with being stuck in here." I'll go, "Yeah." It's like that. It depends what his background is. I mean, there's some people who might have lived down the road from me, but have a totally different life.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter that it's a lion. Does it?
Well, yeah, because they're just trying to remove it even more. So now it's not just a bloke who lived a few doors away. Now it's not even a bloke. Now it's not even...
Yeah, but I'd pick something smaller or something, a worm without a mouth. I'd go, definitely not.
What? Definitely not what?
I wouldn't be having a chat with it. I just think that a worm that's underground, what's it got to offer me? He's blind and it hasn't got a mouth. It's not going to be a good day out with it, is what I'm saying. It's not going to have that much to say to me, even if it's English. Right?
Even if it's
And how can you tell if a worm is English? Does it wear a very tiny bowler hat? Oh, Christ.
Do you understand?
What about a jellyfish?
No, you see, I think that's where you can say you wouldn't be able to have a good chat with them, because to me, the sea might as well be another world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In a way, I think the fish sort of have more rights than us.
What do you mean?
Just because when whoever made the world, right?
Yeah.
Say, we're just bigging up God, but if I was to have a go at him, I'd say you added too much water.
Criticism one to God, right?
So,
How would you have changed that? Just
more land.
Fair enough. Now, why have fish got more rights than us?
Because there's loads of them, and when you look at the amount of sea on the world, right? There's loads of that. You only have to I was in Malaga the other week, right? And you look in the sea, there's loads of different fish, and that's just in 8-foot water. If you go miles out, there's all sorts of weird fish, isn't there, with lights on them and everything. So, and there's just millions of different types.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
but why does that mean they've got more rights than us?
Just because I think,
Where's he
rights
going?
come in numbers, don't they? If you know what I mean.
What?
If there's one of you shouting, people go, "Oh, he's an idiot, shut up," whatever. If there's loads of you shouting, they go, "Let's listen to him, see what they've got to say."
Right.
And that's what I mean about fish.
Yeah.
There's loads of fish.
Right.
What?
So,
But they're not really making their voices heard, though, are they?
I know, because they're underwater. but what I mean is, I don't know what I mean.
Finally.
He
Finally got
admitted.
lost in his own train of thought.
I feel like that's the first time that's happened on this.
On the show, yeah.
Yeah, as far as we've gone with it.
Because he's always stuck to it. This is the first time his train of thought just went nowhere.
He's like, what am I even talking
what?
about here?
What are we talking about?
Fish have more rights than us.
Because there's more and no one can hear him. Love it.
Oh my god. It's just how dumbed down he makes everything. There's loads of water.
Yeah, I just...
Yeah, I got some of it right now.
I love it. I just love it. In his mind, it's there's loads of water.
Yeah.
Where is that water? Just water all the way through? If you just took a straight fucking shot through the water, you'd end up on the other side of the world. There's a lot of land too, bro. Exposed land is different than... I love it.
God damn it.
I love it, man.
Oh, man.
Wow. But it's that kind of thinking that gives him these fucking gems of what?
Yeah.
Just he can drop these genius fucking mind altering comments.
Uh-huh.
But then he can also get lost in fish rights.
Yeah.
It's just what? Dude.
Oh, man.
Carl, right? What do you think it's like being a crab? If you could go now, your mind into a crab, what would you see? Where would you be? What would you be doing? What would you be thinking? What do you think of all the other things the crabs you'd see, the squids you'd see? What's it like, do you think? I want you to... It's like creative writing. Just think. Just let yourself go. Come on.
It's got to be a crab.
What do you think of a slug? What do you think to be a slug? What would you do if you were transported now into a slug? What would you do? And Suzanne, you're suddenly in the kitchen, but you're a slug, and Suzanne's sort of like there, just making tea and that. How do you let her know it's you?
It's impossible. I'd just chuck myself into the salt pot or something.
Oh!
No, because what do you do? I'd hate that. That would be horrible, that.
Oh, God. Have you ever read Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis?
Don't
In which
think
a
so.
man wakes up and he's turned into a giant beetle? And that's the whole story. I think it might be of interest to you.
So what happened to him with the beetle?
Well, I don't want to ruin it for you in case you read
No,
it.
I
but
won't be
it's-
reading it. Don't worry.
He joined a pub group with 3 other people. He was brilliant.
No, it's a really wonderful book. It's a kind of
I knew that. I kind of half expected a Beatles reference.
You had to.
With the title of Beatles. Of course it was.
They're doing clickbaity titles then.
almost heartbreaking because, of course, he does, like Ricky's saying, he finds it very hard then to relate to other people, even though he still has the consciousness of a human. You know, his parents, the rest of his family, they don't know how to deal with him, you know, because he's a giant beetle. He becomes a freak, he becomes an outsider. It's terrible, you know.
But hang on, though. Is he a giant beetle? Or
Yeah.
is he... Well, yeah, well, that's not going to go down well, is it? That, of course, people aren't going to like you. But if it's a normal-sized one, then you just get in with the other beetles, don't you? Whereas if you're
But
a
you'd be
giant...
sort
How
of
would you do that? How would you ingratiate yourself? Right, so you're suddenly a beetle, you're Carl Pilkington, right? There's other people, they're doing their business, they're scuttling around, and you go in there and they look at you as a new beetle. What's your first, what do you do? How do you ingratiate yourself?
Well, for a bit, I wouldn't sort of barge into their house and that. I'd wait until they're out and about, and I'd like in life, right? Sort of help them out. I don't know what beetles do all day. I've never seen one doing anything. They just seem to be going from one place to another.
Right.
I've never seen them carrying anything. I don't know what they eat. I don't know what they do. I don't know why we got them, right? But what I mean is, I'd watch them and I'd sort of help them out. And, I mean, you know, it's like going on a date or meeting a woman, isn't it?
But what if there is a
Whoa,
beetle
hang
there?
on, what do you mean? How is it like going on a date with a woman?
Well, it's like I said about Suzanne with her hot chocolate. She bought me that and I've gone, she's all right. Right? She gets me another one before I know it. She's living with me. So...
So you're these beetles, they're scrubbing around, right? You're sort of like watching them, and then you realise that you want to mate with this female beetle. What do you do? What's your first move?
Yeah, but I don't know what beetles do I? So I don't know how what you do. I don't know if you go up and go, all right. What do they do? How do they get on?
Well,
It's a different world. I don't know yet, do I? Because I haven't done it.
would you feel bad because having your own mind in this beetle, right? Would you feel bad shagging a beetle? Would you feel that was a bit sick because you've got a human mind?
Well, no, because you just close your eyes and think of something else. So get round it that way. There's no point getting down about it because I'm stuck now as a beetle. So you've got to get on with it.
But if you're a slug, you said you'd throw yourself in the salt pot. What would you do if you were a beetle if you got depressed? And you see all the other humans.
No,
you see
but-
your mates, right? They're listening to the iPod. What would you do?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. No, beetles are different because they do tend to hang about with each other. A slug's always on its own. It's a lonely insect, isn't it?
It's not an insect.
All right, what is it?
A mollusk.
Right, they're lonely. I've never seen a load of snails all together or slugs wandering about. Whereas beetles seem to knock about in crowds.
Yeah.
I guess Carl's ever heard of escargot in French restaurants.
Yes.
There's a whole thing of slugs or whatever the fuck they are. Right there.
Yeah. But that's not a place, if you're a slug, you want to be hanging out.
No.
Yeah, just stay away from France.
Yeah. There's a French restaurant in Annapolis, and there was one in St. Martin on our honeymoon. I didn't see escargot. I don't know if I saw escargot on the menu, but I know I avoided it like the plague.
Yeah.
Shit.
So, oh God. Okay, all right, another one.
So they're sociable creatures, and it wouldn't bother you that you've got the mind of Carl Pilkington in there? Because you can't communicate with these people,
What if
because they
you're-
don't speak English. They don't have any communication with you.
Yeah, but if it's happened to me, there'll be another one in there.
Okay then. Right. Okay. What would you do? Right. That's the most disgusting thing. What could it be? Right. What would you do? Right. If you were suddenly a fly, right, and you were knocking around with the flies, right, and you had to land on some,
Excrement?
yeah. What would you do?
Yeah, but I don't have to.
What do you mean? You're a fly. You're
Yeah, but
loving
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't be loving it, though, would I?
it. Why?
Because I'm me in that fly's head. So I don't think other flies would be going, come on, join in. I'd just be like, no, I'll wait here, wait, watch and that. Because I don't see why they have to do that.
What would you do, right, if you had to go back and you were in a, you had to go and put your mind in like the an unhatched egg of something, like maybe one of those that a wasp was injected in a spider. So you know you're in an egg, right, which is really uncomfortable, in a spider. How would you feel about that, Carl? You're a baby wasp in the abdomen of a spider.
And I know everything that I know now. I'm sat in there
Yeah. And now I'm in a spider as an unborn wasp. What the fuck am I doing here? What's going on?
I don't know what to do there. Probably try and sleep. There's nothing else to do, though, is there?
I just pray to God it never happens.
Of course, it's never gonna happen.
Like, this is 100% a show I could fall asleep to.
Yeah.
It's just his laugh would keep bringing me back.
Yeah.
Like, not in a good way. If I'm trying to pass out to this, Ricky's laugh is that pitch that would just not let me sleep.
Yeah. Now I see why there's like 3 and 8 hour compilations of Carl Pilkington just talking to fall asleep to.
Yep, I see that.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. He's written it down.
Well, that's the jingle that signals it's time for more extracts from Carl's diary, and we'll lunge straight into it. Wandered down Carnaby Street. There was a happy homeless fella. I gave him £1.50. I thought of a tongue twister after giving him the money. It goes, if you can't treat a cheerful tramp, what sort of tramp can you treat?
It's good, that.
All
Say
right.
it fast.
If you can't treat a cheerful tramp, what sort of tramp can you treat?
Good, isn't it?
Good, that, yeah. You've got too much time on your hands, Carl.
Learned some famous quotes to see if they are as good as my sayings. Number 1, treat every day as if it's your last. Very famous saying. Now, is that something you do, Carl?
But you know, my problem with that one is that if it was your last, you wouldn't want to be doing much. That's the only problem I've got with that. I wouldn't want to, go to a fairground or whatever, because you're going, oh, it's my last day, what am I going to do? And I think you'd spend so much time worrying about what you're going to do that you'd end up staying in.
I think you're right. You've taken some of the poetry out of it. I think it means live life to the fullest, right?
I like the fact that you were musing on the idea that if it was your last day, you'd go to the fair. It's getting such a 19th century way of spending your final day.
I know, yeah. Well, the thing is, the other thing is that the only thing that people get depressed about in terms of sort of like, life and death is not the knowledge that they're gonna die, but more the knowledge that they know they're going to die when they're dying. If someone told you no one ever knows when they're going to die, no one ever gets an illness, no one ever gets hit by a truck, everyone passes away peacefully in their sleep, dreaming they're riding a big marshmallow, right? Then you wouldn't care about anything. It wouldn't matter when. It wouldn't matter if you died tomorrow or in 30 years' time. You'd just live life to the full. You'd have it every day would be great. You'd go out, you'd come back, you'd fall asleep. That would be amazing. There'd be no stress. There'd be no angsty, we're all going to die stress, because it wouldn't matter, because it would just be your life. Wouldn't it be amazing if someone guaranteed you, Carl, you're going to die in your sleep? I'm not going to tell you when.
Yeah, but some people do, don't they?
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
but we never know we're going to, because we stress. What if we get a dreadful illness? What if we,
But we're almost not letting people die naturally anymore, are we? Because we're always bodging stuff up.
What do you mean?
Well, someone who might naturally die in the sleep aren't allowed to naturally die in the sleep because they wake them up with those electric things and get them going again and pop in a new lung or whatever whilst they're at it. That's what I'm saying. They don't just... You never hear it anymore, do you? Frank peacefully died in his sleep. No, he died on the operating table whilst we were putting in a new lung. They don't die naturally anymore.
Frank died peacefully with 40,000 volts going through them and a couple of people going, clear, clear.
Rushing about today. Got to get a lot done.
Oh, God. It brings up some interesting philosophies on death and how we're all obsessed with it.
Well, I mean, it's like, to me, it's the fairest hand ever dealt.
Yeah.
The species, or every living thing is death.
Yeah, we all have that in common.
Yeah.
Like, we're all gonna die one day.
And that all that knowledge makes you a lot less mad on the road.
Yeah, exactly.
So, piss me off, someday you'll die.
Yeah.
And on that day, I'll be happy.
Oh, man. It's just... And then Carl always... Just
what? Yeah.
Just... Frank died peacefully in his sleep.
40,000 volts going through.
40,000. Yeah, you'll never see that in any obituary ever.
No.
I want that in my obituary. Or you seen those funny tombstones on the internet?
Oh my
of,
God, yeah.
Like, I told you I was sick.
That was funny.
It's dark down here.
Yep.
Ah, man.
As I'm flying to Malaga tomorrow to see my mum and dad. Don't like flying. I'd be happy if they give you a parachute instead of a life jacket. They say Da Vinci invented
Bullshit.
a parachute as well as a
Bullshit.
helicopter. He
Bullshit.
never got round to making them though.
Wait. Okay. We just finished the Idiot Abroad series.
Yeah.
This dude does not want a parachute.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. No.
He's a liar.
He is a liar.
He's lying in his
Because
own
he
diary.
had the opportunity.
Yeah. So we're going to play bullshit, man.
Yep.
Bullshit.
Yep.
Never got round to making them though because he only drew them on some paper. Got up at 5 a.m. as I had to get to Heathrow to get on the plane to see mum and dad in Malaga. Went out for a drink with a cousin who lives in Spain. Ain't seen her for 27 years. Oh, that must have been tricky, making conversation.
I didn't really bother. Because where do you start? I might as well
so-
go up to anyone in the street and start having a chat.
You have to get further back than. Did you want Chantal to win Big Brother?
Yeah. Me dad and me talked about history. I said we shouldn't go on about things that happened ages ago because I bet something similar has happened more recently.
Brilliant.
Read about an island in the Indian Ocean where there are tribesmen still living like they're cavemen. A helicopter tried to land and the tribesmen chucked spears at them. This is what I meant about not having to talk about things that happened ages ago. We have got new cavemen now, so why do we talk about the old ones? People could have lived before, but computers and all that blew up and books got burnt, so all they had left was what these tribesmen have got left.
Oh, wow. I feel like I know what that island is, but I
Yep.
can't. It's the most deserted island.
Yeah, it's I think it's globally protected.
Yeah.
And the people there, or the tribes people there are mean.
Yeah,
They
they're
are-
cannibals.
they-
Literally
they-
cannibals.
I think someone got shipwrecked and was either eaten or killed.
Yeah,
There.
and it's a common occurrence at that island.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, though.
Enough to where there's just a no-fly zone, nothing.
Yeah, don't freaking go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I do know is, like, it's off the coast of India.
Yep.
So that's all I know about it. If anybody knows what it is, comment it down.
I always see that article.
Yeah.
Like scrolling. It's just like, top 10 places people aren't allowed to go, but they do anyways.
Uh-huh.
You know, the clickbaity title, and I always end up clicking it, and I'm like, oh, this thing.
And wasting some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all do that.
And that's the ramblings
Madman.
of a maniac.
That
I mean,
is
that's
a-
just a few hours before you go crazy with a gun in there.
No, but what I mean there is, right? Say if all this has happened before, something happens,
Again, a lot of your information from the Planet of the Apes.
world ends, right? We come back again somehow.
Yeah. It's the detail you leave out that makes you intriguing. Just like the watch that you can wear that tells you when you're going to die. How does it work? Pop it on your wrist. That's all the detail you need. So the world happened.
No.
We came back. Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures? Forget it then if you don't get it.
It's interesting that you had all those profound thoughts about this period in the past when they all lived, but you still found it appropriate to include at the end of that. It says the tribesmen wave their knobs about when they've had enough of having visitors.
That's what it said in the paper. That's what happens. They're quite happy.
What paper is this that you're reading?
It was in like a paper a couple of days ago. It said they don't mind having visitors if they're bringing them coconuts and stuff that they can eat. Once they've got everything they need, they start waving the tackle about, and that means like, right, leave now, which you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, at a dinner party.
My grandfather used to do that.
Yeah, I would leave if the host started waving their penis
Yep.
around. Yep. Like,
That's
I'm
always a
outta
good
here.
time. That's always a good time to go.
Oh, yeah.
Get back to that fucking news!
It's back!
Yes.
It's back!
That jingle is getting more annoyed by the week.
Well, this is the final monkey news, right? I'm not doing this anymore, right? Because we've covered it all.
All the monkey news has been covered?
It has. We've done loads of them. I think all the news that needs to be sort of known has been told, right?
That is the end of the news. Jesus Christ.
What?
Get on with it.
All the
Right,
news.
do you know, we
That's all the
What?
news. Ever.
I love that statement. We've covered it.
Yeah.
There's no more.
Yeah.
If only news stations did that now.
That would be great.
Like, hey, there's no news today. Fucking enjoy your lives.
Exactly. Hey, it's all gonna work out. Here's sports.
Yeah. Yeah. Said no one ever.
Yeah. It's like the old George Carlin bit of Al Sleet, the hippy dippy weatherman. He ended it because he gave the final forecast that the weather will continue to change on and off again for a very long time.
Can't argue.
And he was done.
Can't argue with that.
Where do you go from there?
You can't. That's the most honest.
Yeah, it's kind of like Carl now with Monkey News.
Yep.
Like, is this the last one of Monkey News we're gonna see?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
We chatted about the monkey that went into space and stuff.
This was the one that was fed by bananas that came out of a little chute on the spacecraft.
Yeah, it went up there. He came back. He could never get that
The high,
high
exactly,
again.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He tried other things. I think he tried to get a band together and that. Right, so anyway, there was loads of monkeys that were signed up to this NASA program, and it was 1961 when this little monkey called Ham, that was his name, as well as him, there was one called Enos. So anyway, what I found out about it since then, Ham went up there, did the left-right business with the bananas. Enos, they didn't put as much work into the trip when he went up there, and something went wrong with the machinery. And do you know how you get a banana for the left button and all that?
It's official now. There's two buttons in this spaceship. Banana dispenser and everything else. The right button is everything else.
But it worked the other way. The machinery went weird.
Oh, no, really?
So it meant that the right button would give him a banana.
Right.
The left button did everything else.
Oh, no.
How does
So
that, how
what,
does
so
that
what had been
happen, though?
taught?
What? Oh,
This is the problem with electronics, isn't it?
well, no, I don't think
No,
that's- I don't
apparently
think
this is the problem.
But the good I mean, honestly, look it up if you want. This is all online, by the
So
way.
what happened when it all went haywire? What occurred?
Luckily,
Carl, this is online and it's bollocks.
luckily, Enos, because he'd done a few trips,
Right, he
so
was
he was like,
experienced.
well, I know this isn't right. As much as I love bananas, this isn't right.
That was his thinking, of course it was.
So anyway, so he came back. They were all like over the moon with him.
He
you
said,
know,
I
going,
can't work with these conditions.
good mission and everything. Well done on working it out. He sorted all that out. It moved on a few years. Armstrong's gone up there. Buzz and that other fella, they've been up there. The monkeys aren't needed anymore. But they were like, we've got all these monkeys who have done NASA training. What are we going to do with them all? And they had to raise £14 million to make them like an old sort of chimp tome for retired
Astronauts.
Retired NASA-trained monkeys.
chimpernauts. Something they've got in there is like a little museum, right, of all the missions and that they've been on, so they can sort of, even though they're not going to be going into space again, they can almost relive it and reminisce of the times that they've had. And
They're reminiscing with each other, are they?
just sort of going,
Chatting
oh,
about the
remember
old
that time when it all went wrong, the button became the left when it should have
Yeah.
been the right and all the rest of
Yeah.
it. They just, you know, sort
About
of
old times,
talking
yeah.
about old times and what have you, like old people like to do.
Sure.
And yeah, that's it. So if you want,
Perhaps we should retire Monkey News to that same place.
that's what I mean. So, you know, I hope you've enjoyed the monkey news and that. That was the last one. Look after the monkeys. Do your bit, because they've done their bit. That's it, yeah. But just because I'm not giving the news, look it up. Do you know what I mean? It's all out there. Don't be ignorant.
Oh, those words.
Oh man. And thus Monkey News is retired.
Oh, that was
That
awesome.
was 2 thumbs up, obviously. Oh man, it's just a good slice of life, you know. And in the fucked up head that is Carl Pilkington, countered by the sane-ish minds of Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, it just blows my mind, man.
What more can you say?
Dude, like, there's nothing to say. I just love. It's
Yeah.
it's an easy listen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an easy listen.
Yeah, it's interesting to think that Stephen Merchant. Did you know this? A little bit about him. He co-created Lip Sync Battle with Jimmy Fallon. Can you believe that that's the same guy on this podcast?
I mean, I do, because it's just kind of like this. It's like, okay, you know the mind of Ricky Gervais,
Yeah,
right? He is probably one of the busiest people.
yeah,
His mind is always working,
yeah. He works
right?
a lot.
in the same vein, you got Stephen Merchant,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they both benefited off Carl.
Yeah.
So that was like a symbiotic well, not really. It's definitely a parasitic relationship.
Uh-huh,
But they paid him, so symbiotic.
Yeah.
Whatever.
In some capacity. Yeah.
But they always had their wheels turned. I don't know, man. I could see him because to me, Ricky is the main character.
yeah.
Stephen Merchant, to me, is a behind-the-scenes guy.
Yeah.
Pulling strings. Like, you have the behind-the-scenes guy, then you have Ricky, who is the face of what you're doing,
Yeah.
and then you have, in this case, Carl, which is the meat of everything.
Yes.
So it makes sense on, like, the scale, I guess, to me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're talking about Stephen Merchant behind the scenes, believable. Ricky Gervais in your face, being funny, grabbing your attention. That's what he's exceptionally good at.
Yeah.
And then both benefiting at Carl's expense. It makes sense.
Yeah. Good way to put it.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Yep. And it fires on all cylinders
Yes.
every time.
Yes.
Can't wait for the next one.
Yes.
Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting that bell, and sharing with your friends.
Definitely, guys.
Till next time, wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your ass, blow your nose, embrace the suck.
And unplug and do something epic.
See y'all next time.
Later.